Good evening. Welcome to Down South Football Podcast, man. We're coming to you live. We are waiting on the CFP rankings release for week one. As you can see, George and Greg McElroy all in there running their mouth. Yeah, sitting at his desk like he about to fill out some forms. We got Mr. David Gardner. What's going on, Dave?
But man, a little disappointed. Um, they got Booger McFarlane up here tonight, boy.
Well, that's par for the course.
Oh my God. But other than that, man, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm here. I'm here, and I'm interested to see exactly what's about to happen because uh we do not have transparency thanks to us having, since they decided that they don't have zero transparency about what's about to happen, as far like they're going to tell you exactly who it's come from with the sports analytics that is a company that is going through. They decided not to. It's going to be some interesting stuff how they're going to view Indiana with their strength of schedule, a couple other teams like that, even though they're undefeated, with the new system and everything. I just want to see where we at with a couple places. It's even going to be interesting to see where they put Alabama. Uh, Based off some of the stuff that we got going on. So yeah, I'm just interested to see what their mindset is and with the new rules and see where we at.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be nothing. I mean, like I said, it's the first one, so and it's the first one, and a lot of stuff left to play out. So, um, as it stands right now, I don't think I'm going to see any surprises per se. But yeah, I'm interested to see it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where a lot of these at because I mean I do think it's more interest than normal because of the fact of you're not really you're worried about instead of just 1 through 10, you're worried about 10 through 20 also to see exactly where some of these people are, where they're gonna have them positioned. Uh,
Right.
I see Army at 25, huh?
Yeah,
Army
and
at
I mean,
25,
yeah, and
Missouri at 24.
so I guess when they do,
Whew. They got Clemson at 23, which is kind of that last loss, bro. I'll tell you.
but it's so weird. I mean, I'm wondering how they doing. I guess when they choose the top 1 through 4, I guess that's their prediction. They would be predicting them to win the conference. I guess.
Basically, they are not armed to pick them. They're armed just to pick what they feel 1 through 4 is going to be. Uh,
Correct.
but
Which,
we,
yeah,
because they're not allowed to say, oh, okay, this one's going to be a conference champion. So it's what they feel, strength of schedule wise, strength of whatever, strength of all that stuff right there. That's kind of what they're waiting for right now.
well, I guess with doing if we're gonna do this tonight, what the point I'm making is that this is where they would 1 through 4 would be who they would perceive to win their conference because that's the only way you could be 1 through 4.
We ever see they can't do that though, because
No, I'm saying,
you might see two Big Ten teams in the top four.
well, that's impossible.
No, but I'm saying that's why what they say, and this is what they're based off the strength of what they do. They can only do like, okay, we're gonna predict what we think the strongest teams are. The conference champion will play out what it will play out. That's a good place for Colorado to be at 20 because they have an outside shot. They have a really good shot for them to come up to where they are. Hmm. Kansas State, huh?
Well, they beat Colorado.
No, no, I know. I'm just saying, huh? Like, huh. So we got Pittsburgh at 18. Yeah, they got a little rough shotted with them when it came down to it with Pittsburgh. So we got Iowa State. You can already mark me down for someone who don't believe. I definitely don't believe. I
Iowa State. Yeah.
mean, but Ole Miss at 7-2 at 16. Hmm. I'm interested to see where they got LSU at too. Do they have them somewhere else?
They probably be outside of 10 though. Definitely outside of 10. So they probably about 14. If I had to guess, 13, 14.
Yeah, 14 is where they at right now in AP and both of them. But bam, they just popped up at 15.
Right. So
So that's a good spot for them. That's a good spot for them. You see, now that win with Georgia is going to boost them up. So I wonder where they are, even
who
with
we
the
talking about?
talk about Bama right now, because you got they basically have said this is going to be an elimination game this week with Alabama and LSU Saturday in Baton Rouge. Not y'all showing the. I wasn't going to show that part until well I forgot the NCT show. Got to put it out. They can't go too fast. They can't go too fast. They can't go too fast.
You're probably about a pick and a half in front of me.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
You're okay. Okay.
So we haven't seen. Have we seen Boise State yet? I don't
No,
think we haven't
no,
seen Boise State.
no.
Um, haven't seen Alabama. Haven't seen LSU.
You saw LSU.
Well, I did see LSU. I wonder how they feeling about Penn State. I know how I feel about them.
Well, you gonna see they gonna be in this top 12.
We're gonna go through the same. We're gonna go through the same. You know what with them every year.
But the good thing about Penn State, who else they play? Do they play anybody else?
Let me see here. Okay, so they got Alabama at 11. Boy, okay, Boise State at 12. I was a little bit behind. You got Boise State at 12. I'll look that up in a minute. You got Alabama at 11. So you got Boise State. They saying Alabama's the last. It's the last. What's the name seed? Because Boise State will be considered the Group of Five champion.
Correct.
So they're saying they're the last at large bid
Correct.
at this current moment.
Correct. And that's what I meant by when I was saying predicting, like kind of forecasting, I guess I should say, because that's the only way you can realistically do a bracket. Well, they gonna find a way to put them joke, get them jokers in the conversation, boy. They just say,
Well, I mean, you got your elimination game.
"Oh yeah, it take care of
No,
itself now."
Notre Dame at 10. No, y'all love some Notre Dame. But like I
Oh
say, week
no,
one.
they don't love them more than they love Alabama. They right there tit for tat though. I
Well,
tell you that.
I told you Alabama beating Georgia was going to push them up. I knew that was gonna happen. That was gonna push them up despite the two losses. Oh, BYU at 9. Oh, they kept BYU right at 9. They kept them in the same spot. What's up, Vontae? What's happening, man? Just checking out these rankings live as they coming across the screen. BYU, I like BYU. I really, really do. Which is interesting. So they do got Indiana up there. Because this gives me more insight to, even though they all have rules, even though we don't have no transparency,
So with
it gives me
BYU at
insight.
with BYU at 4, the reason they got that gold sticker on it, I guess they're predicting per se that they would win the Big 12. They
Mm-hmm.
put them at 4.
That's from what I see. Cause I don't have my what's name on right now, and they got Indiana, so they got Indiana at 9.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I'm trying to turn it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because it definitely wasn't strength of schedule. Kirk Cincinnati doing his thing. So they got 9-8. Hmm. I guess they say that because you like we were saying, like I guess because they are the ones that's leading right now.
Correct, correct, correct.
Yeah.
That's the point I was making. I'm like, it's yeah, you got to do that. That's what it's gonna be.
But even with that, they're still not doing it correct then.
What do you mean?
They're still not doing what you saying. They saying because they got what's the name right here.
Got who?
They got BYU. They got it, and they got it right there with the 4. Right. I know what you're saying. They got it right there with the 4.
Right.
With the 4 of well, how's that? How is that
Yeah,
4?
that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Because them
whatever.
four gonna go right there. Because they're gonna be your conference champion. Gonna be right because they get that bye.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I mean, I know what you're saying. I'm just like with them. I'm trying to see what they how they going to actually do. Tennessee. Woo.
So they gonna predict 4 SEC teams.
So it's Alabama, Tennessee,
You're gonna have Georgia and Texas. So you should have. You probably gonna have.
Oregon, Ohio State. That's so Oregon, Ohio State, Penn. They said 4-4. Oregon,
Mhm.
Iowa State, Penn State, and Indiana. That's what I would predict right now.
I guess.
Looking at where we at right now.
Right. I
Because
mean,
there go Texas. And regular season matchups do not matter. They can have a rematch in the playoffs. That's part of the rules. That's interesting. I like that though. And the crazy part about that, that's a home game.
so yeah, it's a home game for Texas.
So who are they? I guess they have to go by the rankings right now. I guess. So
Now, because I would think that this right here would be based off what
I'm talking
how
about conference
ESPN.
rankings.
I guess, yeah.
Because conference rankings, because that means if you got Texas right there, then you saying
But
okay, you
Georgia
say
beat.
Texas is 5, Texas
Yeah,
is 6.
yeah.
But I'm saying like who is so I guess are they predicting Georgia and Texas to meet again? Probably, I'm sure in the conference championship. We got 4 in Miami. Okay, you got 4 in Miami. That's cool. That's not bad at all. So it looks like 1 through 5, which as expected, is going to probably look like it's going to stay the same.
Well, this is weird because I guess you got to bring. They probably gonna bring Ohio State at 5.
Well, they got Texas at 5. No, Texas at 6. Excuse me.
At 6, yeah. They're
So
5
they
in the
got
rankings, but 6 seed
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right. So I think they're gonna probably have Ohio State go in at 5 in the rankings. I mean in the bracket, and then you'll probably finish up with um, Oregon and um, there go Georgia. There you go.
yeah. That's Georgia right there, and then so that means Oregon is going to be the other one.
And then you probably got Ohio State at 5. Well, at the fifth in the fifth seed.
Yeah, you got Ohio State in the 5th seed, and then you got Oregon.
And see, they 2 in the rankings,
Yeah,
but
they
they
two in the ranking
fifth.
at 5 seed. Yeah.
Right, but they fifth on the because they're saying that they're not gonna win the
Yes. Yeah, which you always said the probably the highest ranked team is going to lose one of those championships games is gonna be 5. So that's I mean that's where it is. Uh, question is, who is there anybody that you? I don't think there's anybody like I said outside of. I think LSU. I think if LSU wins this weekend, of course, I think them and Bama might flip flop. But then the fact you still got to count a 8-1 SMU, and then you still got an actual LSU. But it's very fluid, as we know.
But see, the thing too to look at is that I'm trying to get back to it so I can pause it on that final bracket. So you only got one team at the ACC, period. Um, so, Jesus Christ, that little Dave calling.
Tell me, come on in and say something. So I'm curious. If Miami loses, how far do they fall? That's a good question.
Well, with Miami losing, let me go back and look at this.
It's not with Miami losing though. See, they are Vontae, they are the 1 through 4. They are predicting right now, quote unquote, predicting right now those to be conference champions. Depending on where they at, depending on everything else behind them. This is why everything else counts behind them. Everything else that's behind them is going to determine whether or not they will even be in the 12 or not.
But see, I think what would happen if a Miami loses, that would only give them one loss. If they say they lose in the conference championship, only give them one loss. I still think they get in the 12 or might say 11 team um, deal. You would probably I'm gonna tell you who's gonna get whoever got two losses in trouble. If you got a one loss Miami and they lost in the conference championship, that's who's in trouble. So they would flip flop with whoever beat them. Let's just say a SMU beat them, then
Well,
you'll have a SMU at 3 in the third seed, but Miami would probably would drop to I don't know maybe
but see,
7 or 8.
that's the thing about it. You saying that as long as nothing else changes. The biggest part that we have an issue with right now is the fact that we don't know what they're looking at, and then number two, everything else around them is going to affect them. That's what I'm scared. Not talking. I'm just talking about teams in general.
Yeah,
That's where I'm tripping because that's the fact that's the reason why they don't want to give you transparency of what they are looking at. I don't know exactly what they're looking at because really all they did was just copy and paste the goddamn AP top 12. Oh, David went out for a second. So the only thing they really did was copy and paste the AP top 12 to me for the most part. The only thing they really did was pick out like the conference champions and all that kind of stuff like that. All right, Dave, I got you back in here. They just copied and pasted because basically they ain't do nothing, which is fine. You don't have to do that right now because it's going to play itself out.
yeah.
But the problem is, I'm still having an issue with the fact of I don't know what they're looking at.
Well, my thing is I don't have an issue with that, and here's why. Because I never really know. Does anybody really know? Some of the things they've done, we don't know. I mean, some things we know is solid. Uh, Conference champion, strength of schedule, head to head, that type of stuff. But there also was all you have the other variables that nobody ever really knows. So I'm not even hung on that. Um, I'm just like that. Here's my thing. I think that now we do at least have a system to where it rewards you for handling your business. You win your conference, you get in the playoffs. Bottom line. After that, it
But
gets
see,
a little shaky.
yeah, see, the first four has never been my issue the whole time. My thing is, and as we continue to go on, and we get these teams with similar records, what's going to be your deciding factor? And you don't have any transparency to go forward to figure out what it is going to be. Like I can't say, well, yeah, they're gonna do this because this was head to head. I can at least go by, okay, this right here. They put this team right here because of that. I don't know exactly what y'all going off. I don't know what y'all looking at the eye test. Are you looking at? all these other factors. Like, what are you looking at? Because you still got over a month of ball or more left to play. And what if some of these teams end up with similar records?
Well, they all gonna have similar records. Not all, but you're gonna have out of these 12 that you see up here, you're guaranteed to have um and some of these one loss teams will have two losses because you're gonna have the conference championships, right? So
I'm just talking
right,
about the
right.
ones after that. I'm talking about the ones like if it's down to three spots, just complete on three spots, and we got 5, 6 teams. What are y'all? What the hell y'all looking at? I need to know what you're looking at without there's zero transparency about what they're looking at. They can just say, "Oh, we went strictly by what the sports system analytics thing that they hired to go by." Because this didn't tell me nothing. Only thing it told me that they could copy and paste the AP talk, which is perfectly fine.
Well, it told me something. I got something from it. I got a whole lot from it.
I ain't get
Uh,
nothing. I got no surprise from it.
well, I got a whole lot from it because it tells me, like I said, when we opened up the show, I was like, this is really kind of their predicted. I got more from it from a conference championship standpoint than the other standpoint because everything else is going to play out. But they're basically thinking that Georgia, based off this, they're probably saying Georgia would beat Texas again if they played them again, which we
Well, I
know
guess
how that goes.
I guess I say I don't get out of it because these the four champions. That's what all the playoff predictions. That's the ones they've been predicting for the last 2 3 weeks. So I guess looking at all of that, like I don't get anything different. I can see where they come for the conference champion.
You think they still predicting Georgia to people are still predicting Georgia to win to beat Texas again?
Yeah, because you got to be a conference champion to win.
Yeah, I mean they are predicted, but yeah, I don't, So now that leads to a conversation. Okay, let's just say that happens. Now you got a two loss Texas, you got a two loss Oklahoma, you got a two loss Ohio State. Um, so now what you do with them? So now I mean, I like it, bro. I mean, I'm okay with it. I don't really, I mean, the seeding. If we got the same record, you know what they looking at. I mean, because it's computer analytics, hell, you don't know what they. That's about like the what was it, the BCS?
But at least with the BCS, I knew what the formula was.
Did you?
Yeah, because
Okay.
they released that publicly. Like this is the formula. This is the things that we do. This is why people was able to put out like the sergeant rank or whatever that dude name was. All them kind of stuff to like say what it was even beforehand before they would officially do it. I just
I
don't
mean,
know exactly what they valuing.
well, I mean, it can't be too many things. Honestly, I mean, shit, hell, I mean, it can't be much more different than what it's been. But I mean, at the end of the day, it'll play out. But I mean, I understand your point. I get your point.
Yeah, because
Um,
it's because we got too many variables right now. Because you got a point like because some of these teams are going to play each other, and some other teams that are lower, they're going to play some of the teams that's higher. So let's just say I play an undefeated team, and then we all got one loss. Like what's and like you saying, like a couple teams don't play each other. I just want to know like what they're going off of, and maybe if I can go back and listen to what they were saying once we get off, maybe I can see it. But like, I mean, if you take the SEC right now, just in general, you got Georgia, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Texas, and LSU all with one loss. So you got all in one loss. Of course, if LSU loses to Alabama, that's probably going. I ain't gonna say do them in, but we'll just see how it is. Like I said, it's gonna be some fluctuation because a lot of these teams continue to play each other. So we far
yeah,
from we far from wherever
yeah,
because that
yeah.
Georgia schedule ain't actually easy. Um, let's see who they got this week because they still got to go to Ole Miss. They still got Ole Miss and Tennessee, and that's back to back week.
Who got Ole Miss, Tennessee?
Georgia, and they got to go to there. I mean, yeah, it is fluid. Just wanted to see where we going. Oh, yeah, they got a bruh. Not the TV messing up on me while we sitting here talking about.
So,
I'm trying to hear what they do. Try to say.
oh, Well, I mean, I'm looking at these schedules now. I mean, it's a good chance that Penn State will end up um, with 11-1. That's very. I think they're solid. They're locked in. Um, they locked in with they're locked in probably with an opportunity. They're really in a great seat, honestly. Um, they locked in with an opportunity to get to five to the fifth. I'm thinking they can probably get to the fifth seed.
Who you talking about?
Penn State. They stand a good chance, unless they may. Okay, Ohio State lost two, but hey, they beat them head to head, so we won't let put them in. So they might keep it. I don't know. So, but I think Penn is. If I'm talking about locks to make the playoffs, that's not in that top four on that I'm looking at. Cause I got my screen paused. I think Penn State is probably the only lock that I see that's not 1 through 4 or 12,
Well,
and that's just based off of what their schedule is upcoming.
like I said, Indiana is about to prove themselves because they are still undefeated. So they're about to prove themselves a little bit more, even though their schedule's been a little bit weaker. I mean, they got Michigan and they got Ohio State.
Well, they got
So
Ohio State. They're gonna beat the crap out of Michigan.
well, probably so, but you can't never tell.
They at
They,
home.
they
They're
still
at
got
home.
Michigan. So then you got Oregon. And then, because right now, Penn State is in fourth in the conference.
Hmm.
And who else they got to play? Do they play Iowa?
Who?
Penn State.
Man, Penn State got a straight cakewalk.
They play Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, and Maryland. Hmm.
No disrespect to those teams. I'm just saying based off of how Penn State's been playing, those games they'll be favored in the majority.
They'll be favored in all that.
Yeah, they'll be favored.
They'll be favored in all that.
So
Uh,
I won't call it a cakewalk. They still got to show up and play, but they'll be favored.
mm, Got they for. Let's see here. I'll go back to listen to him. I didn't know he was the one that was doing it. Should have known better. Uh, what's up, Reggie? What up, Omar? What's happening, man? Um, what's your
No,
feelings? What's your feelings? What? Oh, no, what?
I'm reading Reggie question.
Let me go back to where I was at. Uh, uh, I mean, it's just like we were saying before the rankings came out officially. Was no, I'm not shocked because of the fact that regardless, they got that win over y'all, and I knew that was gonna hold more weight. You take that win away because only thing that happened was that y'all when Georgia lost to Bama and they beat everybody else, only thing it did was just make them look good.
Yeah.
It's gonna make them look good because they beat quote unquote top two team in the end. So I'm not really shocked about that fact at all. It's just that, like you said, it still sets up for what they were saying. Like LSU, Alabama, it's a playoff elimination game, seems to be. So that's exactly what I mean. That's what I see right now.
Yeah, and see, SMU is another team that's really going to be keep a close eye on because there is probably going to it's looking like shaping up to be a Miami SMU ACC championship. Um,
Yep.
If SMU wins, I feel like you get two ACC teams in. If Miami wins, you're only going to get one. SMU won't get in with two losses.
Um,
I don't see that. I don't see a scenario where that happens.
Not looking at the strength of schedule right now, to me. But
Correct.
like
I mean,
again,
yeah, yeah.
but hell, who knows? Since, but I don't see another win on their resume that can feel them more oppressive. I mean, for y'all that was joining, for a lot of stuff we just got through talking about was the. I don't know if y'all seen it. You know, we posted it last week about the fact that there will be really. I mean, this dude is talking, chairman's talking, but like in the end, like it's if it what you might think it come down to and what they might tell you come down to, there will be zero transparency with the sports. I think it's sports system analytics. That's the group that they have chosen to use. They're not telling us what they're getting from them. They're not telling them anything else. It's just hmm. So it is what it is. SMU, because I mean they beat Pitt, right,
Yes,
and they beat Louisville.
and if Pitt keeps winning,
That's going to make them look better, of course.
absolutely.
But that Cal game, like you said, like we said, because I'm gonna tell you, Jaden Ide is a bad boy, and if he's playing, you just never know.
Right. Now, Pitt has a very tough schedule remaining. Um, they got Virginia coming up, who is not. I mean, they going you got to come to play. The good thing they are at home. Pittsburgh's at home. Pittsburgh gets Clemson at home. This right here lets me know this is going to be a good indicator is that is Clemson just going to fold the 10 in because they're not going to make the playoffs. That's another thing I'll be looking for too. These two lost teams, how hard are they really going to keep fighting? Um, well, I guess if you're two losses to SEC, you will, but ACC, you kind of done. But you still got to win the game because you just never know what might happen. Then
You got to win the game.
Pitt has Louisville. Then they close out with Boston College. So if they go undefeated through this last 4 game gauntlet, then yeah, they legit.
See this, and this is was the thing that when I see people, because I see them all the time with their playoff predictions, it's you gotta be weary of whatever the rest of the people do
Right.
and how it affects you on an overall basis. Not like, oh, this is a Big Ten dominator or SEC dominator. It's just gonna be about or ACC or whatever, whoever dominating. It's just that what other people do will be the biggest thing that will affect whatever. Reggie said, how healthy will some of these teams be when it's time for the playoff? You can go back to August. Told y'all schedule, death, injuries. It's going to determine a lot. It's going to determine a lot.
I mean, and shoot, Georgia still got a tough schedule. Man,
Yeah.
it's I mean, because they got and the scary thing about a team like a Georgia and a team like a Alabama, for example, and even a Florida, if they were in the conversation, when you on the bubble, like let's just say Georgia drop a game, right, and they kind of on the bubble, and then you come and you got your rival the last game of the season, you already know just throw you got to throw them records out the window. You know how that Georgia Tech game can get. I mean,
Always.
or you got Iron Bowl, right? You know how that would get. And if Florida and Florida State were
Right.
good, you know how that would be. You know,
Which was always, we talked about this before, was always my argument when people just like, oh, the regular season just ain't going to matter now because we got 12. No, no, it's literally the opposite.
bro.
Because
Every
guess what? Because guess what? I don't care, take whoever it is. If you playing your rival and they ain't got nothing to play
right,
for,
right, right.
them getting physical, beating you up, and you might win the game or not win the game. But get what you got if you ain't in the first round by.
Hey,
You
and
got a game.
you got a game. And here's the thing. I mean, the highlight. Okay, outside of winning a national championship, the highlight of your season is beating your rival, right? Like, I mean, no matter how Auburn is struggling, I'm just using it for example. No matter
No,
how they're
please, please,
struggling,
please, please don't use them. Use Georgia Tech, please.
okay, no matter how Georgia Tech is playing, if they go out there and beat Georgia or do Georgia, or beat Georgia, that makes it you could you can stomach your season a little bit better.
And not only that, it's like back in the day. I say back in the day, like it wasn't just last year, but we were talking about like a lot of time we talk about certain teams.
Right.
You still got a two loss team that want a pretty good bowl, that still wants a good bowl, or you want somebody, or that just gives you something to fight for. And you'll be surprised to be like, look, man, we can not only can we ruin their season, but we can have an 10-2 season. We can have a double-digit win. Can guess what that does going into recruiting, even though most of your class is gonna be saying, oh, just continue the momentum of the program. Because
Right.
guess what? You still got to raise NIL funds. You still got to do all this stuff like that. That puts your
Right.
team on a track to where it needs to be. So when people say the other stuff don't matter, no, it don't matter to you because you might be national championship or bust. But if you make the 12, if you make the 12 team, or you just right there on the edge, just like the NCAA tournament, it's 64. We know all the automatic bids. But man, you got 300 plus teams just fighting for that. Just even with that, you gotta be able to give them. You want that effort. Now the bowl season, I can't speak for that. But I'm just gonna say I'm just saying about everything else of getting up to that point.
Yeah.
You just don't know. I see now they sitting there talking about the schedule with SMU and a lot of kind of stuff like that. It's still a lot of fluctuation that's going on right now.
Man, you got about what we got about roughly about 5 more weeks. Um, it's gonna get crazy,
You in November now. What's the old saying? They always remember what you do in November.
bro. I mean, you could. I'm just using Georgia for an example. Georgia sitting here predicted to be a 2 seed, and you look down their schedule, they could easily not make it.
100%.
I mean, that's how narrow the gap is, right? You know how fine the line is, I guess.
And this is
Um,
what we asked for. And this is what people have said, for whatever for a long time was that the top 4 or the top 8 seemed like it was like an 18 playoff going into November for some people.
right.
Now you gotta consider, like they said, you still got over 27 teams that have the possibility of getting in the playoffs right now. Things can happen. Cupcakes are not cupcakes.
I'm gonna tell you another big game
What?
that's coming up in about 3 weeks. That Army and Notre Dame. Very, very impactful game.
Go Black Knights.
My question is, if Army finished undefeated, would
What
they
conference are
be?
we in there? I forgot.
I don't know, but would they be? Could we? Let's just say Army finished undefeated and boys keep doing what they're doing. Is it possible you can get both in?
I don't know. Let me
How
see. Let me
do
pull their up. Let me pull their stuff up right quick.
you know what I'm saying? Like how do you
Because I
know
because they got them down at
they
25.
like 25, right?
So what would they if I could get if I can get Army to pull up here?
Because I think 12 is reserved for what group of five.
Technically.
Yeah, I think that's why they got the goal on it.
Technically it's supposed to be the highest ranked conference champions, but if for the most time the group of 5 is gonna be that last one.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
So
So
for a
probably
couple of years.
the highest ranked group of five conference champion is what it is. So
Yeah, okay.
is
They in
Army
America. They in the American. They in the American.
is that a group of five?
Yes, the AAC.
But the problem would be is that they would be they probably wouldn't outrank a boys if boys are running the table. That would be their problem because they would have to be the highest ranked group of five champion. I
Now,
would
so
imagine.
so so what they got to do is they got to handle business against North Texas this week. They in the same conference UAB,
Yes.
and then they got Notre Dame.
Yes.
So, well, they got North Texas next weekend. I think what's the day? The fourth.
Yes.
They have a bye. So after North Texas, they have a bye, and then they get Notre Dame. Wait a minute, that's not a. They get Notre Dame on the 23rd, two Saturdays. So they have a bye week to prepare for. If so, they need Notre Dame to keep winning. They need Notre Dame to keep winning, and then you got if they was to beat they was to beat a Notre Dame a top 10 win, because they got Notre Dame in the playoff right now, right?
Absolutely.
So guess what happened? So
Yeah.
that's gonna vault them up.
Yes. Now here come that variable that you speak about. The star power. That's that variable they ain't telling you about. Because if it come down to me seeing Army at 12 or boys at 12, I mean, I would love to see Gente tote that thing first week of college football playoff.
And Notre Dame will be their only win, and you already said your conference champions got to be there. So you got to have some chaos for them to get there.
Well, I mean, when I compare resumes of them and Boise don't have a base. Now, I'm not saying I don't know if the teams they played were now Boise will have more Power Five wins, I think, than Army. But Army will have a huge win if they beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, they would, but that would get canceled out because Boise State will win the conference if they win the conference.
If they win the conference. So then it'll come down to, okay, we got a conference winner in the Army, conference winner in Boise State. Which one we're gonna rank higher,
That's what
or do we take both?
they ain't taking both.
Depending on how this chaos work out.
I would just say they wouldn't take both because hold on, let me go back to where I was at. Where we go? 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 All right, here we go. Look at Ja'Cory.
Oh, I saw the olive elephant.
Let me see here. You got eliminations game Saturday, Ja'Cory. Uh, Reggie said Boise could jump inside the top 10 if they rank higher in the AP at the end of the season.
Correct. So if they jump inside the top 10, I think boys. I guess what I'm saying. I think Boise has an opportunity to override that 12 seat. I think they have a good enough chance to get up in the poll. You know what I'm saying? Be ranked high enough to where they don't have to fall to 12. If that makes sense.
But regardless of how they rank, if they are the conference champion, they're gonna be at 12.
Really?
Yeah. Because basically the group of five champion was kind of like I don't know what they will be able to do to move past that 12.
I mean, I can tell you because if they come in if they sit at 12 now, right? They sit at 12 now. You already see.
But they only sitting at 12 because of the conference
No,
champion.
no, I'm not looking at the. I'm sorry. I got the graphic in front of me. So they're 12 they're 12 in the standings and in the bracket. Okay,
Yeah, they was 12 beforehand. Well, yeah, they was 12 in the AP beforehand.
correct. I guess what I'm saying is, okay. Let me ask this question. So in order for any in order for any group of five teams to get into the playoffs, they have to go to 12. Is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying if they are the conference champion, they got to go to 12. That's their guaranteed path.
Okay, okay. Let's say I got a group of five team that for whatever reason a Boise State they get just in the polls they're ranked number 5 in the poll, just using this just throwing this out here, and they don't win their conference. So you're saying under the current system they can't get in? The only, in other words, you saying the only way that a group of five can get in the playoff, they have to win their conference.
Not the only way, but if you even looking at their schedule,
Okay. So I guess the point I'm making, if that's not the only way, hypothetically speaking, I think a Boise State has an opportunity to move up past 12, just in the regular college football playoff poll, not the bracket. I think they have an opportunity to do that. I'm saying, are they strong enough to get a higher seed than 12?
I don't think so because I'm sitting there looking at their schedule right now. Me personally, I don't think they do. I don't think they would because you got Nevada, San Jose State, Wyoming, and Oregon State left.
Yes,
That's what you got left on your schedule.
correct.
I don't think that's enough for them to get far. But like I said, it's all about the ruckus that happens in front of them too.
And that's the point I'm making because looking at this, okay, they got a two-loss Bama ranked at 11.
Hold on, because she just said something real important. Hold on. What did she just say? Hold on. That's interesting. That's interesting
Was that?
because of the fact what we're talking about and what we're debating right now. And like I said we don't have to be on here much longer to debate it because it's going to continue to roll out. What she was just saying, because unfortunately she know this shit backwards and forward. What she was saying that there's always been a three loss team in the committee's top 12
Mm-hmm.
every single year because of carnage and because of whatever.
Yeah.
Just some of the things that she was saying, but you never had to worry about that before because it was just top four that you were worried about.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It gives me and when what she and reason why I like listening to her because a lot of times she has one-on-one conversations with the committee. So she has one-on-one conversation with what they thinking about why okay the highest ranked this or the lowest ranked that or they're looking at this or they looked at that. So when she reports, I know a lot of people don't like her, hella didn't, but when she reports, she's reporting directly from them. She's not reporting like what she feels, which 75% of media do. She's actually reporting from what they actually are saying about different teams.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people turn the TV off when she comes on. I'm like, no, y'all need to be listening to her because she got the insight of the committee, how they feel about certain teams already.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. This thing gonna get good. I told you, fast forward me to 2024 all last year. Uh, it's gonna get good. I do think that there is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if a third team will get a three loss team will get in there.
I will
I
tell
don't
you
know.
this. No, I don't know about that, Reggie, because I think it really is an elimination game.
Yeah,
Because
I don't know
I I really
if
think this is a playoff elimination game because it counteracts the point that Dave was just making. Why would I reward a three loss team when I got these other teams around here? And I get what y'all saying. I get everything that all the arguments, but in this 12 team playoff era, where hell you ain't got to just be the champion to get in. You can possibly be one or four. Why would I continue to
right,
reward you?
right. If that's the case, then you might well just sit. You could have stayed with four.
No, we could just we no. What the hell we could have done, David? Said we going to 8, and
Yeah,
then y'all
yeah,
gonna get 3-3, and then we gonna get the
yeah,
other two conference champions, and that's it.
yeah. I think that um I don't know, man. It's shit. It's
This is
tough.
this is what I wanted. Anyway, it go December 20th and the 21st. Just leave me the hell on.
That Friday and Saturday.
That- you can I can do all everything I need to do that Friday. Okay, Friday night I'm watching that one game that's coming on. You know what? Now that we say that, let me do this. Let me see if I can still do this.
Yeah, that's true, Reggie. They did do that. Well, they ain't need no computer analytics to do that.
No, not for that. No, not for that. Did that work? Did that come on?
I don't see
Did I
nothing. They
miss
be
something?
supposed to be on
Oh,
screen.
no, I ain't do it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm making sure we sharing
Yeah, make
the
sure we
right
sharing the right
graph.
stuff now, cause
Come on now. No, I don't mean like that. I got two of the same thing up here.
okay. I mean,
Come on now, my computer don't do that.
okay. I just making sure. Don't need no slippers count.
However, we are
Hmm.
also under. I'm just responding back to Reggie. Also, we are also under a different format. If we under that format this year from last year, and that's what they were saying, you wouldn't have you. It wouldn't have mattered because it would have been an automatic.
Hmm.
Florida State would have just made it automatically.
Right.
So that's the difference that I'm trying to get people to see is that hey, I don't give a if you 11-1. If you want a first round bye, you got to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. And the only way, there is no other way to be a 1 through 4 is to be a conference champion, not regular season champion, conference champion. You got to be it. That's it.
But this really kind of goes hand in hand in the realignment over the summer.
You mean
Over,
the past 2 summers, past couple of
right.
years?
Because it would be ridiculous to have 5 power conferences but only 4 get buys. So you already know if I'm in the Pac-12, I'm probably not gonna get a. I mean, I could possibly get a buy, but it's slim. But I know if I move to a power conference, then
Well,
I'm
yeah,
gonna.
that's the point of people leaving. It's like I'm leaving, I'm gone. Look at Oregon. I don't even have to wonder anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I think the whole realignment. I'm looking at it now. I'm wondering if it was really just premeditated. Honestly, like okay, we're gonna do a playoffs and we got the top 4 gonna get in the top 4 conference champions. Well, we got 5 conference. Well, it sounds like you need to move conference. Pac-12 gonna be last. Gonna be the first out.
And to let y'all know, I'm sure some of y'all probably do know. If you do not know, this is not the last playoff expansion. I'm just letting you know.
Cause what D
We
two
got
what they go up to? D2 go what is it 25?
25. I'm gonna tell you right now, we are looking at 16.
Yeah.
That is on the table. That is right there in front of them. There's still stuff to be worked out. So we're talking about 16. But y'all, and I know y'all know this because y'all smart, because y'all watch us. And y'all might have heard everything we said about it. Bruh, this is money.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, when you start having playoffs, you really diminish it. You diminish the importance of your bowls, in my opinion. How do I work my bowl games back? Hey, I create things like this, right? You're gonna get because after the first round, then they go to the bowl sites, if I'm not mistaken. So I add another 4 teams, and that's gonna possibly get me another 2 bowls in another, say in the play. So they're gonna have.
Uh-oh. David went out again. He'll come back. He'll come back in. I understand what he's trying to say about that we've always talked about how different bowls do different things. But the one thing I will say about the bowls that they are making themselves more relevant is like, you have that bowl game that's like a NIL bowl.
Right.
Because you have to do that. Like you have to be able to offer that type of stuff. But back to your point, what you were saying was that like, how do I continue? You keep your what they call them, the why I can't, the five main ones, whether it's
Yeah, yeah,
cotton, quiche,
yeah. Your
roast.
cotton, the sugar bowl, your
Yeah,
rose bowl. You keep those, right?
those
You
ain't
keep those,
those are irrelevant. But like
right?
that next tier down, do I
Yes,
get the citrus involved?
right,
Do I get that one involved? You
right.
might be able to get them involved, or you might not.
Absolutely.
But this also goes back to the division of college football. The division of college football, which will be 70 teams, and they're talking about being in a whole different classification officially out officially in a different classification as the rest of D1. Kind of
Yes,
like how we do
yes,
D1 now, where
yes.
we say D1 Power 4 and then we say D1 Group of 5.
Right. And
So,
FCS
right.
and
So it's
and HBCU.
right. So it's like we do it that way.
Right,
And because and then it's a money thing because of
right.
what all the revenue and things that have been open, all the stuff with NIL, all the stuff with the money that if you knew you knew.
Yeah, yeah.
If you
And
knew you knew.
and two, I think that they should do it that way because right, if we all are FBS schools, at the end of the day, Group of Five, Power Four, it's still FBS. Am I correct? I'm correct on that, right?
Football
So
bowl subdivision, yes, sir.
absolutely. But we only if I'm not a Power Four school, the at the best that I realistically can do is be 12. Realistically. Right? So I'm FBS like you are, Renard. You and I both are represent FBS schools, but the only way that I can get in, I gotta win my conference and I gotta get in at 12. Okay, I'm sure there's some other loopholes there, but most times you're gonna be at 12. So are we really the same? So why
But see,
not split off them?
well, this is when I know this is a bad name to say in Birmingham right now with Trent Dilfer.
Yeah,
But
UAB.
this is what he's been saying. This is
Yeah,
what he's been saying, and this is what we've been preaching to you. Like the group of 5 is still great football. Nobody is doubting that. What we're saying is, and what a lot of the college presidents are saying, even with this House versus NCAA lawsuit, is that we are on a different playing field than the
yes,
Power Four. I don't
yes,
think people really understand how
yes.
much money the Power Four has compared to a certain group of 5 school. They are still doing certain things that are great. So it's like some people have said, "Hey, let's do a group of 5 championship." Well, I mean, that's cool, but it's not cool because then you open the door for them to be on the Power Four level because you invite them in the playoff. So what does that mean? So what does that
Well,
mean? Then
well, you're inviting them, but you're really not.
but do I punish them for being the best group of 5 team and going out, let's just say in the second round and not getting a chance to compete in their own, not to win their own national
Well,
championship in their
I,
own level?
I think what you do is I think you leave the door open. I think that best whoever is the best out of that power out of that group of 5, they have that 12 seed option, or they can have that 1 seed option. In because trust me, the power 4 won't have a problem filling the 12 seed. That's not a problem. Or whatever the last seed, there's no problem. They can feel that within themselves. They are doing this in spite because of that disparity, and they recognize it, right? So I think a situation like a Boise State, if I got a group of 5 playoffs, and then what I do that next tier of bowls that you're talking about, I could now incorporate them into that because in at the end of the day, who's really watching bowls outside of the ones that really matter,
But
right?
then, but if you put certain circumstances on it, but then it's gonna be, it's gonna come down to the money. Am I gonna make more being in the playoff, or I'm gonna make more being in that bowl?
Well, I'm saying incorporate the bowl into the group of 5 playoffs too.
Well, we'll see
because
how that rolls though.
yeah, I see. But see, what I think is, I think it'll work because now you now put an important. See, this generation today, they like tangible stuff, and I understand it. I'm not gonna just do something if I can't get a reward from it. Yeah, the days of just playing college football for a dang on bowl game, and we wake up tomorrow and we see who they voted and say gonna be the national champ. That's over with. If I'm not playing for no bowl, if I'm not playing for a championship, bro, what am I out here killing myself for? That's how these
Well,
kids think. That's
yeah, I
they're
mean,
different than our generation.
yeah, and that's been, I mean, that's been gone for a while, and I think for a lot of people, they understand it. And but I will say, on a competitive level, for some people, they still care about bowls. Some of them do, some of them don't. That's why those bowls are saying like, "Hey, we are." I can't remember the name of the bowl that's doing it right now, and it might be more than one. Hey, we offering NIL, we're offering this, and we're offering that. So and here's the thing about it, the reason why you can't just make these decisions hastily is because of the fact we are still in a period to where when it comes down to it, we have the House versus NCAA case that has not been approved. Once it gets 100% approved, even though it's been approved, but it has to go through one more process, then it's going to be okay. Boom, 105 scholarships for those people. Then it's going to be okay. Boom, this is going to be this, is going to be that, and you got to watch what the fallout is going to be before they continue to commit to it. All you have to do is follow the money. The NCAA right now is going to owe 2.8 billion with a B. That's going to go to former players. That's going to go through everything. Because the reason why the House case is so important is because of the fact of the salary cap. Talking about a $20 to $22 million salary cap that's going to be put in, and you'll be able to do this for the school, blah, 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 all this other kind of stuff like that. Once all that is figured out, then you might see more of what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think that you're right. I mean, because right now you really got a squeeze on non-power four schools. I mean, now that you've introduced a true playoff system, right?
And
See,
that's what they used to always have people.
right, right. Reggie asked a question too. He said, "Is anybody surprised by Oregon coming in and now it looks to be the king of the Big Ten?" I was a bit surprised. I mean, because Oregon didn't start off. They didn't start off smoking. They started out winning, of course, but they had Gabriel didn't look. He wasn't as crisp then as he looks now. I think he probably had to get a little comfortable in the system and new environment, whatever the case may be. But I'm a little bit surprised. But here's the thing: it's hard to beat a team twice. So, so you got that same job to do again, right? That's the beauty of this. You
And
might have the same job to do twice, two more times.
Dave, one thing they ain't talking about
What's that?
also the fact when these teams came in, the the scheduling that a
Yes.
lot of people got. Because you give me, you look at Oklahoma schedule,
Right.
you look at Texas schedule.
Yep.
Texas got their big game at home and all. I mean, I'm not saying that either one was just easy. I'm just saying that if you look at the totality of the schedule, so you
Yeah.
look at Oregon's totality of the schedule, you
Yes.
would normally say a Michigan would be tougher. You would, but what I'm saying, you would normally say, of course, the Ohio State game was a classic, but you finishing up with Wisconsin and Washington. You're not
Right.
playing Penn State. You're not playing anybody else in that particular thing. And then their non-conference is not even up to the level they're going to have to continue to schedule that in further. You started
Right.
off with Idaho.
Right.
You started out with Oregon State. Now, you did have a good win over Boise State. I'm just talking about on an overall basis. Like they had an easier schedule to come into. They was already a good team.
Right.
They it just
They
got the luck of the draw.
and they had time to kind of work the kinks out. And once they won the Ohio State game, then that's almost like a monkey off the back, so to speak. But
And that
the,
game was at home.
the beauty of it is, okay, yeah, you won the first one, but if I don't lose no more and you don't lose no more, guess
Hey,
who you got to come see?
Hey, that's
Yeah,
like that fight after school. Okay, you got me in the classroom on third
yeah,
period. That's all right.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna see you outside at 3 o'clock,
yeah,
brother.
yeah,
What's
yeah. My
happening?
my my folks to pulled up now. Now my folks to pulled up outside, so it ain't gonna be no fair fight.
We
Ain't
finna
no
we
home.
finna we finna handle this. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
right?
Ain't no home field advantage. The duck, I ain't got to worry about all. We gonna be neutral site, and it's time to handle business.
Well, back to I would say that back to this day. First round, as you look and see right here, December
Uh-huh.
20th to 2024. That's I think it's one game that day. I do know it's 3 games on that Saturday, December 21st. I have already put my PTO request in, and that's not even from my job. That's from my wife and from the Christmas family. I already told her on December 21st, I am not to be bothered. And I have already got that PTO request approved. Don't bother me.
Don't
Then
bother.
we go from that. You got New Year's Eve.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah,
probably
yeah,
got you probably got another one game
yeah.
on New Year's Eve, then the other three on New Year's Day, which is gonna make New Year's Day even more glorious because you still got to play the other games, still got to play
Okay.
the other bowls. Then you got the semifinals a week later.
Yeah.
You can look like it's the same thing. One on Thursday and one on Friday, and then you got 10 more days after that to go to the national championship. Monday, January 20th, 2025. Whew, I forgot it was at Mercedes Benz. All your information is right here. If you don't believe me, you can go to college football playoff
Well,
website and see for yourself.
we might just have to. It's in Atlanta, right?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
A.
We might just have to ride over there, even if we don't go to the game. We just have to ride over, just be in the atmosphere. We have to be in the atmosphere.
Omar said bowl games need to stop at 16. He said they need to stop at 16 bowl game. It's already that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, that's what you because when you get the bowl game, Omar, your roster is depleted. You know, everybody talked about Georgia beating the heck out of Florida State. Bro, I looked out there, I didn't know who the hell Florida State had on the field.
And the new schedule where they're trying to circumvent transfer portal, recruiting, and
Yes.
all that stuff,
Yeah.
signing day, everything. But mostly the transfer portal. The biggest thing with the transfer portal is they adjusted the season a little bit, but now the season is longer.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have cats that's gonna be on the roster that's gonna be committed to another school. Guess they're gonna be somebody in the national championship game. I'm telling you now, within the next couple of years, they're gonna be committed to another school. Might be silently, might be publicly. They're gonna be committed to another school, but they're gonna be on that roster, maybe on the sideline for that other team. And then as soon as that game is over, they're gonna go to the other school. As soon as it's over with. This is why
Yep.
they keep trying to tweak the timeline and tweak everything that goes along with it because that's a huge thing. We already right now, and I can speak to this, and I will say this for 100% certainty, and this is fact. There is a team right now. I'm not gonna say the team. They are after a certain player or quote unquote players. They have already made contact. They started making contact with this team after the fourth game, not with the team, but through back channels.
Mm-hmm.
4 games. They were like, I know you're not happy though. And they're
Oh,
going through back channels to already try to set up crazy movement in a transfer portal. You heard me say fourth game, right?
yeah, fourth game.
And that's 100% fact. That's not a rumor. I'm telling you the 100% truth. I'm not going to say the team's involved. I'm not going to say the player that's involved, but I will promise you that it has happened.
Yep.
And they asking how much. So, yeah, it's business, man. The problem with it is that they don't want to run it like a business. The old school folks don't want to run like a business. It's a business now, man. Y'all done made a business. It's just a business with your favorite team name attached to it.
I mean, it's a different day now, bro. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm to the point to where I mean, you got NIL. I mean, you got money. You talking about salary caps, bro? You might well go ahead and model the NFL system and be done with it. I mean,
Because that's
really,
what you're really doing anyway.
yeah. And when
Look at Reggie. Look at Reggie. No, I ain't saying a word, Reggie. No, I'm quiet. Ain't nobody finna clip me out and say I said something. Nope. Mm-mm.
I mean, I think you just go on model day system. I mean, because I'm just saying,
But you know,
you got free agency, you got all that.
well, it's always been. It's. I ain't gonna say. Excuse me. I didn't mean to say always been, but it's been free agency ever since you introduced it. Two things got introduced that changed the game: the immediate transfers, and when the NIL legislation started getting power. The mistake that I will continue to say that the NCAA made was watching it happen. When they watched it happen out in California, and it spread like wildfire. You let everything go unrelegated, and you did what they always talk about people doing. You waited until it happened. You had a reaction instead of action. When you first saw that, it's like, okay, let me work with that. But that ain't what y'all trying to do. And plus, the NCAA is really not. It's really not set up like that. It's set up like a non-profit, which they're supposed to be. It's just not. So, like, I mean, I see little Dave. What up, Jared? I see little Dave talking about really NIL needs athletes getting paid. They are basically a professional athlete. Yeah, they can't, and that's the reason why you getting that $22 million salary cap. That's about as soon as it 100% settled. If you haven't looked at the details, you can go back to our page. You can go back to our Facebook page. I don't know if it was on Instagram or whatever, but we put all the details out of what they quote unquote approved with the House case. And there's going to be some startling things in there that you're going to see. Every sport, the scholarships are going up. Guess what that means? More money.
Mm-hmm.
85 to 105. Guess what that also means, though? That's 20 more scholarships on that. That's 20 more scholarships that's not going to another. It's not going to another school. It's not going to maybe a different division. Schools are going to fold. Have y'all seen the report about the Olympic sports? The Olympic sports, they are basically eliminating 3,000 to 5,000 spots for the Olympic sports. You know why? You're not profitable, and it's not right. Now, all this fake outrage, and I wish I could repost it, that McCready and Siski, he went off about it, Dave. He went off about it. He was like, he just said, y'all got this fake outrage now. Now you hear about these Olympic athletes. Y'all knew this was going to happen because it's not a money-making sport.
No.
That's just bottom freaking line. Y'all knew it was going to happen. I hate it myself. I think it's wrong, but y'all knew it. Y'all let it get out of control. And then this is where we at right now. So now, all this stuff we talking about, we just said it.
Yeah. You know what I'm curious about? Man, shout out to Lindsey Wilson, too. Where's that over here? We got 2 more games to win, bro. We win the conference. I believe we're going to do it. I know we're going to do it. But anyway, I was reading an article that I think they're the second NAIA school to now have women's flag football.
Yeah,
that's a thing that's coming now. And see, revenue from on Saturdays will take care of something like that. So it's just about demand too, right? It's demand. You know, this. You know, like I mean, what's going to attract more kids to our school, right? And most of the time it's going to be through athletics, and so you have to really do, you know.
It sucks because the Olympic sports, through no fault of their own, are just not as profitable as they need to be. But let it, and people have said like they should have taken care of the Olympic sports. They're 100% right because a lot of our Olympians come from these Olympic sports. Well, if they are not there, that means you're cutting a Suni Lee. You're cutting some of these other people. Like, okay, they don't have nowhere to go. They don't have nowhere to do.
Right.
Then what? It's always going to be in effect. And you just sit. I'm just sitting here right now waiting on the shit show to level down because I'm gonna tell you right now, everything that's going on right now, we told you. We told you 3 years ago, and it's just going on that way. We told you. Y'all, nobody wanted to listen because we thought when we started talking about NIL, it was like, oh, it ain't gonna happen. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't have college football players getting able to lease a Lamborghini for a whole semester while they're in school. Yeah, no, that's not happening. You don't have 7-figure recruits getting paid to come play college football. No, that ain't happening. Wrong.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Some folks hate it, but I love it. I
If,
love it.
if you like capitalism, then you're good.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if a coach can get paid 13 million for coaching an amateur sport,
That was another thing. We'll hit on that another time. We'll hit on that another
Jesus.
time.
I mean, hey,
Well, we ain't in amateurism no more. We ain't been in
no, we ain't
amateurism.
that now.
We
We ain't
ain't
that
been
now.
in amateurism since the 90s. But you
Why?
don't want to.
Listen,
They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about the handshakes that I saw in person.
hey,
Shut up, shut up,
When that
Ramon.
Supreme Court justice, when she made that statement, or he, which I don't remember who it was, you know,
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Go
when in
ahead.
court, yeah. I mean that salary don't sound amateur now. That is not a amateur salary at all.
It's the facade of amateur sports. It's like an accountant that's been swindling and dwindling for their client for years. Well, what you mean? Wait a minute? What you mean he only got taxed for 30,000, but he making 300,000 and he ain't got no business? How that really happened?
Exactly.
It's the
Exactly.
same.
Hey, Omar had a question. Omar, actually, that's a great question because what people didn't realize about the limits on a signing class. The limits on a signing class were always based off of the amount of scholarships you had to offer. Right. So if it said 25, well, that was the number. But you
Mhm.
look at like some of these Power Five schools, they might have a class of 27, 28. Well,
Oh,
they
it's,
may,
it's, it's in the 30s now though.
yeah. So it's in the 30s. But hell, if I got 40, if I'm a school and I'm under scholarship, right? If I got 40, if my what is it now? What's the total amount of scholarship? I mean, scholarship athlete you can have was it like 100, 105 or something they bumped into?
Everything is approved. It'll be not for football. You're talking about just football,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
It's 105. It'll be 105.
105. So if I only got 75, but I can do 105, then now it's 30. But if I only got 50 and can do 105, then it is what it is. You do the 55. So I'm thinking that's how it's going to work. I think it was never a situation. You always hear I can't sign but 25, but
No, they've been, especially since transfer. Like I think the last class,
yeah,
one class I saw was like, because you got people that leave transfer
yes,
portal, and you
yes,
got people that you got roster spots that just not filled. I
right,
think was it last year when I saw one of like 38, 39?
yeah. If I got that many, if you could tell me I got 85 scholarships, I can have 85 scholarships, and I only got 50 scholarship athletes, then I can go get me 35. So I think it'll continue to work that way.
I mean, it's just,
Now that 35 may not all be freshmen, which won't be all freshmen. It'd be crazy to do 35 freshmen, but I can get 35 more athletes. I guess I could say.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you talk about 20 more athletes, you divide that by whatever. I mean, basically, what you talking about. You talking about 20 more scholarships, and then you're getting back into the Bear Bryant days. And if you don't know what I mean by the Bear Bryant days, is that Bear Bryant used to purposely sign over 100 players
Absolutely.
to his roster because he's like, I got a 6 string quarterback that can start at Notre Dame, but he on my
Absolutely.
bench.
Absolutely.
He on my bench.
Stockpiling. Stockpiling.
So I mean, and I'm not, and that's not that's not a hate on Bear Bryant. But if you was able to do it, you was able to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't
Man.
know, but like, to answer your question, I don't know if they're going. I have to. I don't want to speak on to be 100% sure. I would just say that the 25 number ain't been in effect ever since the transfer portal really started.
Yeah.
Me personally, from what I've seen.
Yes. I've always looked at the 85 number more so than the 25.
Right.
You know.
Because I like if I got 60 kids on my roster
Yeah.
and I'm trying to get to, and teams do different things, whether it's, I mean, we'll use a number like 55 scholarship kids on my roster. And you're trying to get to that full 85. And teams will always have like an 82, 83. They'll leave it for like a walk-on, they'll leave it for stuff like that. Which that's another thing about the elimination of walk-ons. Like I said, we have to do a whole nother show about everything that's possibly changing. But Why can't I sign my 28-30? Like I said, it's already happening right now.
Right.
What Jerry
Jared.
said?
Yeah, I agree, Jared. But that's why I love it. Jared, I'm gonna do you one better than this. In the HBCU world, in the SWAC, I think we need NIL for band members. And here's why.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Oh
This
boy,
sounds
here
like
we
a
go.
this sounds like a get
Yeah,
off my
yeah, yeah.
lawn.
Yeah, 'cause I got a little triggered when he was talking about the burrito supremes and Taco Bell. Cause boy, that was me. The burrito supremes, and then I used to go to Popeyes, get me something to eat, all that stuff. And bro, I ain't
How,
had no money. I ain't
how
had
did
no
we
money.
get here? How did we get here?
Hey, I ain't had no money, Renard. But what? But I want you to think about this. Alabama A&M played Southern this weekend. Southern band didn't come. It was barely a soul. You could count the people on Southern side. Had Southern band came, that game would have been packed. So what I'm saying is the importance of, okay, if I'm coming to the football game to see the football team and the band, this is why I'm spending my money. Then, hey, I think you should break these kids off. Yeah, you getting scholarships, but these scholarships ain't. A lot of these scholarships ain't what you think they are. Now, football division, well, Power Five football, yes, it's full ride, but a lot of
Oh,
folks don't realize. Go ahead.
no. I want to add to that point. You
Yes,
remember
yeah,
a couple of years ago,
right.
they had to. That's why the Austin rule came in effect about the whole thing. I think it was the Austin rule. The Austin rule came in effect because of the fact, there was D1 football players who couldn't get food.
Absolutely.
They said they were starving at 9, 10 o'clock at night
Yeah,
because everything around them was closed.
I believe them. Absolutely. The calf closed. What the restaurant on the yard closed. The
The, the,
restaurant around the
nutri-
campus closed.
the nutrition room closed.
And then you have dorm rooms that tell you, hey, you can't handle. Well, it used to be back in the day. It's probably different now. Can't have
Oh,
no
it's very
refrigerator.
different.
Can't keep no
They,
food in here. Back in the
they
day.
got a refrigerator. They just
Oh,
ain't
they
got
got
no money.
everything in it now.
They
But
just ain't got no money.
they ain't got no money.
They ain't
So
had no money then. I just put
so you have those folks that's proponent, man. You're getting a scholarship, bro. These folks, these kids that's on scholarships, that's not Power Five football players. If they not eligible to get Pell Grant, they got loans, and that's the other side of it that folks don't talk about. And if they got loans, and once that refund check come and it go, it's a wrap. So that's why I'm a proponent of NIL. I think band. I can only speak for the SWAC. I think that they should get stipends of some sort. Of course, they're underfunded anyway. I mean, so that's a wishful thinking, but that's just kind of how I feel about it.
and that's where the Austin stipend came in at. I think it was like it was maxed at like 600 no, was it 600 a month? I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was stacked in a certain way and you would get that basically to help you.
Right,
That's only a few years old. When I say a
man.
few, I'm just talking about that's a couple years old.
Can you imagine when you were at Stillman, bro? What you could do with $500 a month stipend?
But we barbecuing every day.
500, and then the way we used to do it, if it's 500, I live in a suite of four, bro. We got $2,000.
But see, then I mean, but I mean, that's also that was back then. I mean, they wouldn't have gave old as I am. They wouldn't
Yeah,
have
they
gave
would have gave
100.
them that. It'd
They
been
didn't
like
get. They did
175,
50. No, they did
175.
one. No, they didn't get 150. We would have got. We would have got. They get 500. We would have got 50 because
Okay, yeah, yeah, we would have got about 50, but
Hey,
still,
in Tuscaloosa, I can go down the street and get me a dollar whopper. You know
yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? Permanent. So but I understand. I understand your point. Anyway, we didn't got all the way off of. We have to do a whole show about this. I really hope that we can do that. But it was a question that you wanted to ask. It said that I mean all this is going into the effect in 25 and 26. Uh, the 2025-2026 calendar academic year. So we're talking about possibly like next August, and then probably with the scholarship limits and the signing class. What Omar was saying, I think you'll probably see that like in the 2025 late signing day. But anyway, it's all continuously changing. So, man, look, if y'all not subscribed to us on YouTube, Subscribe to us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on Instagram, TikTok, all of them, because a lot of times we'll drop knowledge about stuff that's happening and won't nobody say nothing. But you drop a video of Nick Saban, y'all give 3 million impressions. But then y'all turn around and get mad about the stuff that's going. Like, man, we told y'all what was about to happen. It's a lot. It's a lot of change that's happening, man. Who it did? Who it did, Dave? This must be one of your friends.
Oh, Jay. That's Jay Will, man.
Oh, it's Jay Will. What up, Jay?
Jay Will, man. Hey,
we
man.
We talking about money right now. We didn't got off of it.
Hey, Jay. Jay, I'm gonna do this one time and one time only. Jay and his wife actually have a lemonade business. They have like a food truck, like a truck. They sell fresh squeezed lemonade. I think it's called. What's the name of it, Jay? Put the name of your of the lemonade business in the chat. So man, I'm telling you, I've gotten a gallon of lemonade from Jay. He's in the Birmingham area. He's normally in a lot of like the events that you have around the city. You normally can find them there. Great lemonade, fresh squeeze, everything you want for. So Jay, that's the only shout out you get on the show for free. All right. I'm gonna call you after this, and then we're gonna negotiate. So Jay, put the link to your business page up here, to your Facebook page up here, man.
Wait a minute, how is you negotiating?
Oh yeah, man, I'm negotiating for us, brother.
Ain't no, you can't negotiate for me.
Once that cash app, you get that little change come through that cash app. That don't say that.
Now, see, I didn't say that we were talking about some change. Now,
see what I'm talking about.
You didn't say we were talking about some change.
I'm always talking about some change.
Okay, I wasn't talking about no change. But hold on, I need to put this up if I can. If this computer of mine, this is why y'all got to continue support so Renard can get a new computer. If this works, let me see here. I had to make sure that Jared bought the seasoning.
Oh yeah, he did. He finally got in contact with him.
I got in contact with him for him because apparently something was wrong with Adrian's inbox or something.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see. Before we go, y'all already know what we got to do. Jared is a believer. He's getting ready to try it out. Why am I hearing myself?
I don't know. Why am I hearing my granddaughter stump on the floor above me?
You got YouTube or something going on, sir?
No, I don't. I turned my iPad down. I don't think that's it, but I'll turn it down.
Let me see. Okay, there we go. All right. He got the seasoning today. You see it. Chef Adrian Terry, his seasoning. We got the original OG. We got the turn up, which is like a mile, and we got the Just Blaze, which is hot. They all $8. Contact him on Facebook. If he does not, he knows now, like, bro, you got to get it straight. Or we can drop the number for the text, whatever y'all want, whatever y'all need. Me and Dave are strong users of the seasoning. Y'all already know.
I'm out of seasoning.
Wait a minute, that's a personal problem.
No, that's a trip to your house problem because I can solve my problem with that. But go ahead.
Why? You finna take my season?
I'm gonna take your season.
No, bro. No, we're gonna fight about that. We're gonna fight about that. Now we're gonna fight about the seasoning. Now look, there's a couple of things about it. It's only $8, which is a special negotiated price just on DSL. Chef Adrian Terry is a good friend of mine. He loved the show. He wants to be, and he wanted to be a sponsor of the show. I said yes, bro. You always can, anytime, no problem. Anything that you need. So definitely want to put that out there to him. What's going on? Y'all know how to reach it. Let me make sure. Let me see if I can get my picture up of him, Dave. Let me see if I can get my picture up of him.
I mean, Chef, I'm out of seasoning, man.
Chef, I ain't got nothing to do with that, bro.
I'm out of seasoning. I need some seasoning.
That between you and
He'll sponsor the show. I shouldn't run out of seasoning. Just saying.
That don't mean it keep you fully stocked. The same three. He sent one of each one. It ain't never been open. It's still sitting in the same spot.
So mine's still at your house.
Yeah, bring you a bottle.
We'll negotiate that after the show.
They ain't negotiating nothing.
If I bring a bottle, it sounds like we split.
Well, I put like this. I don't do the spicy, so you can have the mild and the what's the name? I just thought you might want to split the OG.
Okay, we got another sponsor down here, man. We got Jay Will, so he can do lemonade. So Jay, will you just give me a graphic together, man? We'll put you. You'll be on next show, and we need life supply of fresh and
Life
squeezed
supply.
life supply
See, this
of
this is
fresh and
why
squeezed lemonade.
this is why you can't let black people do the
Life supply,
brand.
man.
This is why
Free.
you can't let black people look. This is what the season I just had to do it the old school way. This is what the season look like right here. You got the real OG in the middle. Okay, you got the Jets Blazers, the hot, and you got the turn season. I think the turn up is right over there to the right. $8. If you mention that, hey, I saw it on DSF, hit Chef Adrian Terry on Facebook. If you don't get a response, please let me know so I can make sure. But he knows to continue to look out for it. Jerry got one. He's a believer. I got some. We got to get. I know David got some.
I'm out of it.
Even
I'm out.
there's a reason why you out. He's out of it. He ain't got any right now. Bottom line is, bruh, just get it. You see it right there at the bottom. $8. I promise you, you would not be disappointed. Jared, you can come back on the next show and you can let us know for sure how you really feel about it. If that's cool with me. Like I said, this is our second or third show that we've had him officially like going on here like that. So keep it coming, man. We appreciate y'all for everything that y'all do. Okay, now what did your boy say while I fix this over here?
Who that?
What did Jay Wills just say?
Oh no, he said he can sponsor lemonade, so I'll get with him. We'll get a graphic for next week. We'll work out. I'll broker a deal.
Oh Lord, here we go. Help us, Jesus.
Yeah, I broke a deal.
Help us, Jesus. Help us, Jesus. Help us, because yeah. Jay Will, if he give you any problem, let me know, okay? Because
I broke that deal. Because I will promise this when
anybody that's been watching the show, anybody that's been watching the show long enough, no, he the king of. This is a one-on-one right here.
No. When I get my lemonade, I won't hold your portion hostage.
I'm not holding portion hostage. Just sitting right here.
Just saying.
He ain't got your address. He got mine.
So he got my address. Matter of fact, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
This is what happened when you deal with stubborn black men past 30.
How am I stubborn?
Because
I just want mine.
And that's why I have not opened it, and that's why I have not used it, because I said, okay, I don't know what we're gonna do with this, but I appreciate it. And it's sitting right here.
Well, what I do, we'll contact Chef and just have Chef send me, you keep that, and I have Chef send me another one.
I'm gonna go and tell you now, I don't do anything spicy, so if you want it, you can have it.
I'm gonna try the spicy. I don't think it's. I'm gonna try it.
He got a mild and a spicy in the original in the real OG. This one, the real OG, the one that I use a lot of. The real OG, the one I can't keep my wife out of because it go on vegetables, it go on everything.
Yeah. I think I've tried the spicy though, but I'll get it. I'll get it.
He said, Jay Will said, what kind of flavor?
We'll negotiate that off LJ.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right, I got a list of things that I need.
Anyway, if you ain't voted, the poll's about to close in 20 minutes. Some people it's gonna be longer, but you got to be in line because they've had some issues today, things going on. Go vote. I ain't saying nothing about that. I'm just gonna say go vote. But anyway, we appreciate y'all, man. We'll be back. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of it. And we always are posting stuff. So we keep our social media very active. So whatever y'all need, we're going. But back to the original point of the day, which is the 12-team playoff. It's time. We ready. So y'all go enjoy y'all too. Now, see, Jay Wills to ask some questions. Yeah, you text for him.
Don't worry, I got it. I take care of it.
He said how many?
All right, that's still.
I'm not in this right now. Anyway, I'm about this thing. We gonna go. There, you got anything else?
No, man, I'm good. I kind of like the 6. I kind of like the 6 o'clock show because we kind of, even if we go over, it still ain't midnight. So I mean, we good. I kind of like it.
You showing your age. You showing your age.
I like it. I mean, we get in, we get out. And and that's what you say when you hit 40, but get in, get out. You know.
I was saying that when I was 25, so it don't
Yeah,
matter.
I like that.
Got
I think 6 o'clock can work, man. I like that.
oh, here we go. But I tell you, but
Yeah, I like that.
anyway, we about this thing, man. We kept y'all long enough. Appreciate your opportunity. Like I said, like and subscribe. Tell somebody else, hey man, like and subscribe. Next time, maybe we have time to get the phone calls. Come on in, do what we need to do. Really didn't have enough time for phone calls tonight because we got off on a whole different tangent on the different stuff. But we got it. We here. It's November. As they say, you remember November. It's football time. Enjoy it. It'll be gone before you know it. January 20th will be here and we'll be all sad again. But for Down South Football Podcast, man, check us. I'm Renard Williams. We got Dave Gardner. We about this thing, man. Peace.